What's going on YouTube is Donnie B all day. Oh yeah, had to come into a different room today. One of our gyms. We have a little bit of two of them, but had to come into this one today because there's a whole bunch of noise going on out there. So I had to come bring this to you in here. So, and this is the gym I don't ever go on because cardio is not my friend. So, you give me some lift. That's all I need. I'm bringing you a modern classic. And you know, because I've been having it with me all day, you know I love my classics. Not to say I don't love the modern stuff, but I sure do love the classics. And when I saw this one, this is, I don't know why the dog is going mental back there, but this is the Ranch Boss 2 by Cold Steel. And all the specs are right here. We got a blade length of 4 inches, overall length of 9¼ inches. We got SK5 steel. I do like that. I've had good experiences with that with them. Weight is 5.2 ounces. It is 3.5 millimeters thick in the blade. The handle is 5¼ inches, and it's a fake. It's a fake bone. It's not a real bone, but what is real is, woo, almost fell forward, is this sweet leather case, reminiscent of things like the case and the buck and all kinds of knives that come just like this, classic style. I do like that. Now, here's what's different about it. Well, what I say was on the blade length. The blade length on this guy is 4 inches, which means it's got a nice big, did you hear that? Look at the blade. That's a really nice long blade. Generally, the bigger models of the other guys are usually like 3.5 inches, right? So you can see compared to the Tribal Lock, the blade is substantial, right? It's got a big blade. I gotta clean this thing, man. I've been using it. I got stuff all over. It's all cruddy-duddy. So you're talking about a blade that's built more like a modern knife, but it's still bigger than your average 3.5 inch carry. And I do like that. When you put this thing in your hand, you have a knife in your hand. You don't have some little rinky-dink thing, you know what I mean? Like some of those 2-inch trappers, it's hard to think what they're really good for. I mean, they're collectibles more of anything. But this guy right here is great. And while it is obviously lock back, and here's a lot of things people don't know. If a knife opens and locks back, it's a lock back. This is a lock back. That is a spine lock, locked back. So people think that this means lock back. It's not. Just because the lock's on the back. This is called a spine lock, not a lock back. Any knife that opens and locks is a lock back. Then any knife that opens and doesn't lock is a folder, right? So it's just I hear people all the time think they know what they're talking about. This one is a liner lock back, right? So it's a liner lock on a lock back knife. And it's that liner lock that locks it back. And you can hear that snap, that nice, heavy, deadly snap. And one of the good things about this one is when you move that liner lock, the blade doesn't just move, right? So if I took a normal liner lock and I did this, see how that blade went down automatically? It's because it's just going to move. So a lot of people worry. I know if Shredder's watching, I know Mama Shredder doesn't like some of the liner locks or frame locks because when she moves it, she's afraid it's going to close on her. This one, I'm pressing it. Here it goes. It's not moving. It's got its own tension, so you actually have to push it once that's there to get it going. It makes it just a little bit safer than your typical knife of this style, or of your typical liner lock. You do have the silver bolsters with lanyard hole, very nice. It is a nice clip point. That snap is just gorgeous. Everything about this knife so far, even though this is a fake bone, you could see, there you go, you could see all the texturing in there. It's a fake bone and yada, yada, yada. They wanted to give it that look of classic knife, but they didn't want to just make, you know, yesteryear's blade. They wanted to bring this thing into the modern era. And just look at that. Look at the downward sweep in this blade, right? I mean, that's good for when you're really hacking and digging and pushing. And if you have to use it as a skinner, boom, 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 getting in there and having that down, that push down just makes it easier when you are carving something up. As far as the grip comfort, you'd think, you see how long it is here before? That's for 2 fingers. Generally, you're going to see this a lot, so where you're going to get 1 finger in there. But a lot of people like K-Bar has tons of grip issues, and a lot of their grips just aren't made right. You get this part, it fits 1.5 fingers, and it's just not. These guys do a really good job at placement as far as your grip swells. Where's it going to go? I can hold this thing as comfortably forward as I can reverse, left or right hand. No pocket clip on this guy. It's case only, or just shove it in your pocket. That's why they call them pocket knives. You just put them right in your pocket. The weight is noticeable, but so is the blade thickness. When we take a look at, let's say, the there it is, the cut jack, right, by Steel Will, you can see the blade is thicker on this guy. I think this is 3 millimeters. This is 3.5. So we'll take it next to the tribal lock, and I think that's 2.5, where this one is 3.5. So you can see that it's got a nice thickness, a nice full girth to it. And we're gonna watch the lock, just see how it just moves up into position, and then that hard snap. That is something, when you're talking about a quality knife, that hard snap is meaningful. Now let's see, is it sharp? Yeah, it's sharp. I don't know, let's see. Oh, it's all on the blade, but I'm trying to get it so I can collect them for you, so you can see. Whoop. Yep, it's sharp. It's shave the hair off your arm, full flat sharp. That is very, very nice. Very, very nice. Everything about this so far, I'm really liking. Even though I'm not a fan of these faux bone grips. It's like a sawed bone, I think they call it. I'm not a big fan of that, but it does offer a little bit of texturing. Even on a knife like this, you're not really worried. You're not spinning it around and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So that's not part of your deal. So you don't have to worry about over grip here, as long as you have a comfortable grip on something like this. Remember, this is made for whittling and everyday use cutting, cutting rope and twine and stuff like that, opening boxes. This isn't your main blade, but this is a great bring along. So if you have your pouch sitting on your belt across from your main blade, then you know that when you use your main blade to cut open that animal, you're going to be able to use this to skin it down and take it apart. Or you're going to be able to use this to cut the ropes that you need to do once you're building your shelter or anything like that. Just excellent. This isn't your pound on it in baton. This isn't your, you know, freaking harness firewood. It's a whole lot of words I probably had in mind that I just couldn't get out of my head right there. So, but if you get stuck in the woods, can you survive with this knife? I would love to find out. We are covered in snow out there, so a lot of the little sticks and stuff are going to be hidden, but we're going to do something anyway because I'm D-bad. It's my job. All right, let's go out there. All right, so it's freezing out here. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow you all over. We're going to start with an aluminum can slice because we have an aluminum can and something to slice. So, something to slice with. This is the something to slice. Woo-hoo-wee! That's just pretty, man. That's just pretty, man. I don't even know where. Oh, it went in my little bucket down there. So, aluminum can slice. Oh yeah. I mean, we didn't expect that not to work. That's almost a guarantee. Make sure the dogs are both up here. And I mean, no, we're not going to cause damage. You'd have to have a pretty light edge to cause damage doing that. So it's just one of those things that makes a nice clean cut. It's good. It's fun. All right, good. So let's get over here to the old snow-covered stump. Let's see. Let's gotta keep lowering, you guys, so we can find the stump. There it is. That thing full of snow. All right, so yeah, I'm out here in shorts with Arctic weather military boots because that's how I roll. Let's do some 4-foot drops and we'll see how the balance goes. It's shoo right there. Normally with a weighted rear end like this would happen a lot. It would carry over, right? So the balance you could see is clearly to the rear, but luckily it's got a 4-inch thick blade, so we can figure out our balance point to be a little farther up than it would be on some of them, right? So you're definitely not at the point of bending. It's got a completely different space, but looks good. I have to say this flat grind, this full flat looks really nice in person, and it carries well. Let's see if we can't find some nylon rope here. It's all frozen to the ground here. Let's pull up. Hey, look at that. All right, so now this is a frozen rope. We're gonna see if we can just do a straight push cut. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of saw. It went through 3/4 of it on a push cut, but I was using just the tip, and then it had to I had to finish it off. It's a pretty hard rope right now, but it did well. Let's do a couple hard downward throws and we'll see if anything closes accidentally. See if any, wow, that's got some bite, y'all. You can see this line right here. That's the bite. That's the bite. One more time. All right. That was a good hit because it went a little sideways. We'll see if there's any wobble. So far, it's feeling pretty good, feeling pretty tight. Nothing loosened up on me. Everything looks good. There's no back and forth at all. That is nice and solid. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Remember, I told you this isn't your processed firewood knife, but if it's all you got and you got to get kindling going, right? Maybe you break a few branches off a tree, just breaking it with your hands because you're not chopping them down with this thing. The only knife you got, but maybe you want to do some processing. Now, a lot of lockbacks, what will happen, especially with spine locks, which this isn't, hammering down on wood, what it'll do is it'll cause the spine lock to open, and you will have an accidental closure. This being a liner lock, I have more confidence that won't happen. However, with a liner lock, they can shift this way and that way. This is a nice, tight liner lock. There's a Blackhawk. And so I'm not worried so much. So I'm not afraid to keep my full grip, which normally on something like that, I'd kind of open up my fingers so I don't cut them off, because fingers are kind of important. You know, you can't massage the dough if you don't have any fingers. So hammering down on that, there's nothing on the edge that shows any kind of wear. There's nothing on the blade except dirt. It seems as if in an emergency pinch you would be able to use this to get yourself some kindling. Uh-oh, I just missed a throw. That's a good thing. It's not a good thing, but it's a good thing. So you can see it's all full of caca. Missing a throw means things gonna loosen, things gonna break. No separation, no caca. Got snow inside the liner lock. Liner lock still goes. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's try that again. Uh-oh, that was close. That was close. This is how you break them on accident. Woo, there we go. It's so cold, my hands. Is that in there? Yeah, it's in there. My hands just aren't appreciating it. Woo, wow, it's hard to throw in the cold. So, let's see. Closes, stays closed, opens, stays open. No shifting, no weird things. Let me see, did we damage any scale work? Nope, there's no spacing. The bolsters are still, oh, and here's a good thing about these bolsters is they're screwed on in the rear. I like that. They're not just glued. Very, very good. So far, it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. And I know about tough because, well, not out in this cold. I'm a wimp. All right, so, well, you know what we can do? I got something. Let's first give you guys a nice shot in the sunshine. Let you see what we're looking at here. I am digging this. This could be taking over as my favorite classic style pouch. I mean, that Mako by Case and the 110 by a Buck are pretty hard to do better than, but I love the size of this. I love the fold of this. I love that it's a liner lock. There's a whole lot I really dig. So let's see. Open up a nice little window right here. Here we go. It's hard to cut when you're putting the material right here. Duh, I just missed. So easy to slice and dice. You can see I'm just creating windows here. This material is not the hardest material in the world, but if this was a little rabbit, it'd be just about the same thing, easy to get through. Let's come over here. I told you how it's not a chopper at all, and it's not a chopper, but sometimes you're in a position where you might need whatever you have to do your chopping. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the knife do the work. I'm just going to flick at the wrist, and I'm going to see if chopping would be possible. And here's the thing. There's not enough weight behind it to make it a chopper. So if I needed to get through this, what I would just do, place the wood here and then baton it through. I don't have a baton near me, so we're not going to do that. But I would rather baton through a log by holding it at an angle like this and then hitting it on the spine, holding it at an angle like this and hitting it on the spine. That's the way to get through something like this. Would it work? Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm looking for, you know what? Screw that. We're getting a baton. Whew, man, I got my hand in my pocket holding my knife. I am not one of those do as I say, not as I do people. So if I'm going to tell you it's going to do something, I need to prove it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I got too much respect for you guys out there showing up to this damn channel that I'm not going to half-ass it. See, I got that in there. So I got a baton right here. It's frozen, which means my hands are going to be frozen. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knife at an angle and I'm going to tap. And I'm going to take it out and I'm going to go the other way. And what that's going to do is going to just start making little wedges into this wood. And very soon I start getting nice V's cut, which is what you get when you're chopping with a big blade, right? So here it comes. Now, rather than chopping and using a whole lot of force and trying to expel energy, which in a survival situation, my hands are freezing. You don't want to do. You don't want to expel too much energy, right? Because you need that. But doing this, I don't have to worry about hitting the blade in the wrong direction and damaging my edge. Here I'm going in the direction I choose it to be, and it's consistent because I'm just holding it there and tapping on it. But as you can see, I hope you can see from this angle, it works very, very well, and I'll show you. Bring it closer so you can actually see what's happening here. Right there. See that notch? That notch is looking mighty good. Mighty good. So, here we go. You need firewood, but you don't have a chopping knife. Well, as long as you have an edge, you don't need a chopping knife. Oh, my hands are freezing. And I own gloves. You guys just know that I don't do reviews with gloves because it's an unfair review. Telling you how great a knife is without putting it in my actual hand. I'm sorry, I just won't do that. I just won't do that. Can't lie to you guys. Can't do it. I'd rather take the pain, to be honest. All right, here we go. So you can see that I don't have to overswing to get what I need. I just need to tap it and let the blade do all the work. Right? You can see. I hope you guys can see that the blade is doing the work. And it's absolutely going all the way through without damaging the angles of my edges, because I'm not. Sometimes what'll happen is you'll hit, and then instead of pulling straight out, people tend to wiggle out, and that's how you get blade chips and things like that. Doing it this way, I have consistent hits. Now the good thing here is this lock hasn't failed on me, hasn't closed. Here we go. That's how we get it done, guys. That's how we get it done. That's pretty darn good. Ah, man, my hands are freezing. So now what I want to do is I want to take a piece of this. I just dump you guys in the snow. Hey, guys. It's cold down there. So now all you guys can see is snow. My bad. My bad, everybody. Let's see. You guys are all... The whole lens was just all covered in snow. All right, so what I was doing was... I chopped off a piece of this. I don't know where the piece I chopped off went. I was going to get you guys. Now I have to chop off a new piece. All right, now, normally we do this backwards. We test feather sticking and things like that. We test edge, and then we chop, because chopping can destroy an edge. Well, normally I'd say that's true, but look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Be freaking beautiful. Yeah, I think this thing's a winner. I think this thing's a winner. Holy crap, what's not is these temperatures. And tomorrow it's going to be, our low is going to be 3 degrees. That is way too cold for me. All right, so I'm going inside, man. I am freezing. You guys see it. You can see what's going on. This thing is awesome. It's a little beast, the Ranch Boss 2. I am an instant fan of this knife. Love it. I'm probably going to get frostbitten out here. Right now it's windy, about 20 degrees. It's not feeling good in my hands, especially getting them nice and wet. The dogs have almost disappeared on me. They're actually on the porch. Roscoe's been doing some biting himself, so we had to get him one of those goofy donuts for his head. I like it because he looks like an idiot and I get to pick on him. All right, so that's it, guys. Calling this one. We are finished. I'm Donnie B all day. Until next knife.